Hi, and welcome to a new video from The Catalyst, moi, called Double Parentification Trap for both boy and girl empaths. I call them boy and girl because it is about the childhood empath. So it's about the wounded child, boy, girl, leading to the wounded adult, and eventually leading to the healed parent. Let's start. As a child, you carried a burden that was never yours. You became both mother and father at the same time. This is what we call the double parentification, a theory you will not yet find anywhere else, and it is an elaboration on the legacy of Carl Jung. Let's start with the girl child. When your father was emotionally absent, you tried to mother him. When your mother was unhappy, you tried to partner her. And you became the glue of a broken nest, your family. But eventually you failed. Not because you were not enough, but because no child can succeed at holding two adults together. So you carried a guilt. And in adult life you became like your father, the fixer, the provider, the one who never truly connects. And you copied his role to finally be seen by him. And still, you attract his mirror in your partners, trying to unlock the love he never gave. What we are describing here is a layered survival system where the girl child takes on both parental roles at once. Mothering the father, partnering the mother, and later, in adult life, compensates by merging with the absent parent's identity. Let me mirror the flow back so you can see the clarity of it. And let's start with the girl you once were. The boy script will follow later on in this video. First, the setup. Let me paint the picture. You have an absent father, emotionally unavailable, distant, unresponsive, and you have an unhappy mother, burdened, misunderstood, emotionally unstable. The girl feels the weight of both voids at once. Which leads to the first strategy, which is double parentification in childhood. Let me explain. The first strategy towards your father. The girl child steps into the mother role toward him. If I make him available, he will finally love mom and our home will be safe. This is a heavy burden for the girl child. She tries to parent her own parent. Towards her mother, she steps into the partner role towards her. Since dad is absent, I will be the support he should be, and she becomes the emotional stabilizer, the little confidant, the listener. So she is both the mother to the father and the partner to the mother. This is what we call the double parentification trap. Eventually, this leads to a collapse of the strategy. She fails at both, which is inevitable since these roles are impossible for a child, in this case the girl child. The result is more guilt and the core wound. I was not good enough to fix dad. and I wasn't strong enough to make mom happy. In adult life, this leads to the adult compensation, or for the girl child, identification with father. As a last resort, she fuses with the absent parent to try to connect, as she becomes like him, the fixer, the provider, the emotionally unavailable one, the rational one, the doer. She takes similar jobs, patterns, and roles to unconsciously say, "Look, Dad, I am like you. Now will you finally connect with me?" In relationships, the partners she attracts, they mirror the absent father. She still tries to unlock their emotional availability, her old unfinished mission as the girl child. At the same time, she steps into the father's shoes, initiating, fixing, carrying, providing, doing, all to feel worthy of love. The inner split looks as follows. The suppressed divine mother, she saw what happened to mom. Misunderstood, sacrificed, abandoned, so she rejects her own feminine essence, which leads to a dominant, wounded masculine. She becomes her survival mask, strength, fixing, initiating, providing, doing. The outcome? The outcome is that she appears masculine, driven on the outside, carrying the pain of the feminine on the inside. The connection is the constant push-pull, wanting to heal the father wound while reenacting the father role. So, yes, what we have just mapped again is the double bind of double parentification. First trying to be both parents to the parents, then fusing with the unavailable one to keep the thread alive, while exiling the true mother essence inside her, which is her actual core frequency. This explains why so many women and men in reverse scenarios end up with a hyper-masculine identity layered over a wounded feminine soul. Now, let's have a look at the boy child's scripts. The double parentification trap for the boy. Again, let's start with the setup. In this case, we have an absent mother. She is emotionally unavailable, withdrawn, unstable, or self-sacrificing. And in this setup, we have a unhappy father, frustrated, burdened, misunderstood, emotionally cut off. The boy feels, I need to keep both parents afloat, or the nest isn't safe. And he applies the first strategy, the double parentification during childhood, towards the mother. He steps into the father role toward her. If I protect, guide, and provide for her, she won't collapse. And he becomes the pseudo-protector / partner to mom. Towards his father, he steps into the partner role toward him. Since mom is absent, I will support Dad and make him proud. And he tries to be the attentive listener, the achiever, the good son who fills the gap. So he becomes the father to the mother and the partner to the father, which eventually leads to the collapse of his strategy. He cannot save mom from her absence, and he cannot lift dad out of his frustration, which leads to his core wound. I wasn't strong enough to protect her, and I wasn't good enough to satisfy him. This leaves guilt and shame as the default operating system. His adult compensation, the identification with a mother. As a last resort, he fuses with the absent mother to try to connect. He becomes like her, emotionally absent, withdrawn, fragile, self-sacrificing. He picks similar roles and jobs or repeats her coping strategies, unconsciously saying, "See, mom, look, mom, I am like you. Now will you finally see me?" In relationships, his partners mirror the unavailable mother. He tries to unlock their nurturing, his unfinished mission, and at the same time he takes on her traits: oversensitive, withdrawn, or self-erasing, believing this makes him worthy of connection. The boy child's inner split. He has a suppressed divine father. He carries the suppressed divine father. He saw his own dad misunderstood, frustrated, unappreciated, so he distrusts his masculine essence. The dominant, wounded feminine inside him becomes his survival mask, people-pleasing, self-sacrificing, oversensitive, which leads to the outcome eventually. He looks feminine energy driven on the outside, carrying the pain of the masculine inside. His connection is push-pull, wanting to heal the mother wound while reenacting the mother role. In short, the girl's path is suppressing the divine mother, wearing a wounded masculine mask. The boy child's path, he suppresses the divine father, his soul core frequency, by wearing a wounded feminine mask. But both are double parentification loops, first playing both roles to both parents, then merging with the absent one while rejecting their true core frequency. In my second video on double parentification, I will show you how this roadmap also leads to the toxic or even narcissistic archetype. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Bye.